Hey guys, thank you for watching and welcome back to my channel. So for today's look, as you can see, I'm not wearing any eyeshadow, and it's because I'm really focusing in on how I do my face makeup routine from start to finish, from moisturizer and primer to foundation and concealer to contouring to baking, the whole 9 yards. There's a lot that goes into this, so I really wanted to make it its own video. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this face makeup today, please keep watching. So to get started with my face makeup routine, I'm gonna first go in with my moisturizers and serums to get my face prepped before I put on any of my foundation. So for today, I am using the Kiehl's Super Multi Corrective Cream. As you know, I'm a huge Kiehl's fan, so this is one of their products that I really, really love and really helps hydrate my skin prior to putting on any sort of face makeup. So I'm just gonna, with the back of my finger, apply that to my face. Get a little bit more. So what I'm going to combine with my moisturizer is this Audacity Pure Elements Green Tea Lemongrass Serum Concentrate. So this is a concentrated serum that I mix in with my moisturizer to really enhance the penetration into my skin, I guess is the best way of putting it. So you really only need 2 or 3 drops of this stuff, and I just apply it to my hands, mix in with my fingers, but then basically mix in with the moisturizer on my face. And it smells really, really amazing. And I always find that while I love moisturizers like standard creams, I do find that I think serums hydrate my skin a little bit more, so I like mixing the two together whenever possible. So now that my face is moisturized, I am gonna go in with primer to get my face makeup started. So I'm using the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. I love this stuff, it smells amazing, and a little goes a long way as well. So I usually just do one pump into my hands, mix together, and then apply basically into my T-zone, so my nose, onto my tops of my cheeks, my forehead, as well as my chin. So I know in other videos I've shown you how to use color corrector for my under eyes, either using a tint of orange or a tint of red. But one thing I haven't done is shown you color corrector for other ways to blur out other types of blemishes before putting on foundation and concealer. So the colors I typically stick to are purple, which kind of helps brighten certain areas of your face prior to putting on concealer and foundation, and then there's green, which helps cover up any sort of red blemishes. So say you have a little zit or any sort of red spots maybe from irritation, a green color corrector really helps that. So for today, I am using this Bliss Corrector Self Corrector Stick in the color purple. So what I'm going to use this for is I'm basically going to put it in areas where I really want to make sure my face is lightened and just blur out any sort of discoloration that I might have. So I typically put it right above my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and then onto my chin. And then just with my finger, I'm gonna go in and kind of like lightly dab it into my face. And this isn't a must-have by any means, but I definitely think it helps lighten certain areas that you want to remain bright, which is typically where the sun naturally hits your face. So I have the purple down. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with green color corrector to offset any redness on my face, which I typically see kind of in the corners of my nose and then a little bit on my cheeks. But I don't need too much, I just apply a little bit to cover up those spots. And then again with my finger, I'm just gonna lightly dab it in. Next, I'm gonna go in with my foundation. So today I am using a different foundation, not my Giorgio Armani. I am using the Fenty Beauty foundation. I am in the color, which I think is very pale, I'm in the color 120. So it's a soft matte longwear foundation. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit onto my finger and basically disperse it across my face. A little goes a long way, so you don't need a ton of it to get coverage. And now with a damp beauty blender, I'm just gonna go in and spread that out across my face. So I tend to see with a thicker foundation like this, which is much thicker than the Giorgio Armani foundation I use, I tend to like to use a beauty blender more than a standard brush, just because I feel like it really needs to get worked into your face in order to look like it's not, like the foundation isn't sitting on top of your skin. Okay, so foundation is applied. Next, I'm going to go in with my color corrector from Dermablend and apply that underneath my eyes. While that kind of settles, I'm gonna go in to start my contour. So I'm gonna go in with liquid contour first, and then I will go over it with powder contour. So next, while I kind of have this color corrector set on my face a little bit, I'm gonna go in and start with my contour. So I'm gonna go in with a liquid or stick contour first, and then later on, I'm going to do a powder contour on top of it. So for today, I am using this Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer Stick. I really love this product. It goes on really easily. It's a great color. Yeah, so I'm gonna go in with this first. And like I've shown before, I'm gonna go from my forehead into the hollows of my cheeks. So I'll tend to move it at an angle just so it's not so thick. And then down on my jawline. I know for a lot of people, they contour their nose. I typically don't contour my nose. I don't find it necessary for myself, but if that's a step in your routine that you would like, that's definitely something you can also do with these bronzing sticks. And so I'm gonna go in just with a stippling brush and start blending that product into my face. And I typically start with a stippling brush first with contour, just to kind of get it into the areas that I want it to. And then I use my beauty blender to really blend the product in fully to look natural with my face, because I tend to not be able to do that just with the stippling brush. But this way the product gets blended into the right spots, and then you can really work the rest of the product in. So just blending that down, always make sure to kind of start blending into your neck. And then with a beauty blender, I'm gonna blend or start kind of patting the product into my face. So now that that product is worked into my face, I am now gonna go in and do my concealer. So the concealer I am using today is the Fenty Beauty, what's the full name of it? Pro Filter Concealer. Like my foundation, which is awesome that she did this, I'm in the exact same color, I'm in the color 120. So that's what's really nice about this line of a face makeup, is that once you actually know the color of your foundation, you can get the exact same color in your concealer. So I am also in the color 120, and where I'm gonna apply this product, and note this product is very thick, so you don't need, a little goes a long way, but I'm gonna apply this underneath my eyes, on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and on my chin, as well as right underneath where my contour area was. And this is to really make sure that I'm defining my cheekbones and by making a very clear line for where my bronzer is gonna be. And first I'm gonna go in with a concealer brush. I am using the Pro Airbrush Concealer Brush number 57. This is just one of the Sephora brushes. And I'm gonna use this first to blend in the product, and then I'm gonna go in with a beauty blender and really make sure it's blended into my face. So like I mentioned before, I like to, when I'm doing my concealer, I like to pull the concealer out first and then start to work it into my eye. And then with my beauty blender, I'm just gonna start blending that in. And something that I found is that I like to do my bronzer first before I do my concealer. I think it makes it look a lot more natural than doing it the opposite, just because I think the concealer is what really makes the product kind of blend nicely into the face and reduces the chances of having like a really defined bronzed line. So perfect, that part is now blended in. And next I'm gonna go in with bronzer. So I'm using my Hoola Benefit bronzer, and I'm gonna get a little bit on an angled brush and apply to the exact same areas where I put my liquid or my stick contour. So just layer that right on top and in circular motions. And now just with a fluffy blending brush, I'm using this Sigma Large Powder F30 brush. I'm really just gonna start like working that in again to make sure it's in all the right places and looks really natural and blended. So now to make sure that my concealer is really set, I'm gonna go in with some translucent powder. I'm using, again, my Too Faced Ethereal Translucent Powder. And I'm putting a little bit on the corner of my blending brush, really adding a lot of product. And then I'm gonna start sweeping that underneath my eye. So just in a dabbing motion. Ooh, I got a little bit there. Where was it supposed to go there? But basically add right underneath my eyes where my concealer is. And this is really to make sure that your product lasts all day and that none of the concealer that you had on your face moves throughout the day. And then by putting it underneath your bronzer, it really makes sure that it kind of narrows in your face by making this area of your face look lighter in comparison to where the contour is. That's helping define your cheekbones. So again, I'm just gonna really layer that product on and sweep underneath. So while this is kind of setting on my face, I'm just gonna go in and do a little bit of blush. So for today, I'm using this Laura Mercier Second Skin Cheek Color in the color Lush Nectarine. This is a pretty old Laura Mercier blush that I have. I'm not sure if they sell this exact color, but I will be sure to find a link for it. Or if I can't find the color, I will link something that's relatively similar. So I'm just gonna apply to the apples of my cheeks to give a little bit of color. And I'm just gonna let this baking powder set for another, oh sorry, I'm getting all sniffly, set for another like 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna go in and do my highlighter and kind of finish off my makeup routine. So now with just, again, my fluffy powder brush, I'm gonna brush away that product that was on my face. So just right underneath my bronzer, and then right underneath my eyes. So I have finished baking, and now I'm gonna go in and do my highlighter. So for today, I am using, if I can find it, it's my Color FX, here it is. It is my, sorry, not color, I always say that, Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops. This is in the color Celestial. And I'm gonna get a little bit of those drops and basically apply to the higher points, on the top of my cheekbones. I can't talk right now. To the high points of my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, as well as on my Cupid's bow. And then just with my finger, how I'm gonna dab it into my face. So I tend to kind of like move up into my temple as well, and then along my high points of my cheeks. And I just kind of like dab it in with my finger. You can also use a brush. I tend to just like to use my finger to rub it in. Highlighter is on, and actually to enhance the highlight a little bit, even though it's really, really bright, I am gonna go in with some powder highlighter as well. So the one I'm gonna use is this, you know, I'm never gonna be able to say this Lise Wattier, I think it's French, which I'm so bad at saying these names that are in French, but this is kind of like her dual highlighter. And I'm gonna put a little bit on this fluffy feather brush and put in the exact same areas that I had put my highlight, or my liquid highlight. Ooh, I like that. So now that my face, most of my face makeup is on, or basically all my face makeup is on, I'm gonna go in with my Dermablend Power Setter 2-in-1 that I've used in so many other videos. I'm gonna spray that all over my face to make sure that my face is set and my makeup will stay longer throughout the day. So this is my final full face makeup routine. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I used a lot of products and some of the steps might have been something that you haven't seen before, so if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm basically doing this video in a two-part film, so I'm doing my full face makeup for you, and then another video I'll be sure to show you what I do with my eyes later on. So if you have any questions about this, or if you have any tutorial requests, please let me know and I'll be sure to get back to you.